Welcome back, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we're putting on our modern musicologist hats and diving into a truly fascinating, deeply scholarly examination of a digital artifact. We're going to deconstruct the digital archives of an artist known as brevenbell, sometimes referred to as Saint Brevin. And we're going to look at how their work functions, way less like a standard music release and much more like a towering sonic monument to human suffering. We'll be analyzing track lists, naming conventions, and the very architecture of their releases to uncover a mythic, deeply intellectual narrative that is literally hidden in plain sight.
To understand the sheer gravity of what we're looking at, we have to start right here. Tucked deep inside a massive playlist of cover songs is this stark, sudden track title, 𝔟𝔯𝔢𝔫𝔢, calling out the ancient Aramaic name for Jesus. I mean, this isn't just a song title, right? It's a cry in the dark. It signals a massive foundational shift in this artist's work. What starts as a musical release, just a simple artistic exercise, abruptly plummets into intense, raw, spiritual desperation. It tells us we aren't just looking at music anymore, we are looking at a digital prayer.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer, almost like we're opening a recovered historical manuscript. First, an archive of grief. Second, deconstructing the source. Third, the anatomy of iteration. Fourth, the Gothic soundscape. And finally, spiritual longing and salvation.
So, Section 1, an archive of grief.
To fully grasp this archive, you really have to view it as a living, breathing psychological document. Specifically, we're talking about a playlist curated by the artist titled Beat It, Care Package. Its foundation is laid entirely bare in this incredibly brief, incredibly raw description. brevenbell writes, "Covers and variations of Lil Peep's Beat It, a deeply emotional song for me, FL, early 2021. This frames everything. The late artist Lil Peep released a track called Beat It, and brevenbell uses that specific song as the core emotional source material. Everything we are about to look at stems from this one origin point in Florida early 2021. It's an obsessive reliance on a single piece of music to somehow anchor a fractured reality. And when I say obsessive, I mean it. Just look at this massive number. There are roughly 30 separate tracks in this single Care Package playlist, and almost all of them are variations, covers, and structural dismantlings of that one single Lil Peep song. This number is absolutely vital because it visually represents how profound grief can trap the human mind in a repetitive loop. The artist can't move past the song, so they just keep playing it, changing it, and breaking it, over and over and over again.
Which brings us to Section 2, Deconstructing the source.
And this brilliantly illustrates what actually happens to a song when it is pushed through the filter of extreme mourning. On the left side, we have the original foundation, Beat It, but notice the parenthetical descriptors brevenbell attaches to their variations on the right. Gothic stripped, My Pain, Heal Gentle. The standard song structure is being completely dismantled into raw, personal declarations of suffering. The song title is no longer a title, it's a vital sign. It's a real-time diagnosis of the artist's current emotional state.
Moving on to Section 3, the anatomy of iteration.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it functions in the scholarly world. When we look at data that repeats with slight mutations, we call it iterative processing. And here, this index actually tracks the artist's descent into total emotional vulnerability. Just look at this sequence of tracks from the playlist. It starts with barely.#1, which is a sort of hesitant stripping away. Then it mutates to barelyb.#2, showing increasing desperation and a loss of form. Finally, it just erupts into all caps, Bear Me, with a triple E and a 3 act. Like an archivist tracing a historical figure's descent into profound grief, we can track brevenbell's psychological state literally just by reading the punctuation and capitalization of their track names. It's wild.
We can actually categorize this into a distinct three-step psychological procedure that the artist undergoes. Step 1 is the stripping down, removing the original context. Step 2 is raw exposure, where the pain becomes explicitly personal and loud. And step 3 is what I call liturgical repetition. Look at the tags here, ugh, slow, vocals. They create these endless tiny variations using sonic architecture to relentlessly process earthly pain, much like a monk might chant a prayer at different speeds or pitches to reach a state of divine clarity.
Section 4, the Gothic soundscape.
I want to introduce a term that brevenbell explicitly uses as a track subtitle, Gothic grief. This is a deeply personal state characterized by the intersection of dark atmospheric soundscapes and profound, inescapable emotional loss. It's not just feeling sad, you guys. It's like building a giant cathedral out of that sadness. The soundscape itself actually becomes the architecture of their mourning.
And this Gothic cathedral is populated by very specific figures. Look at the collaborators credited across this archive. We have Claire Ann Bell. We have Gus R., which is actually Lil Peep's real birth name, stripping away the celebrity persona to speak directly to the human being. And then, incredibly, we have credits given to Abraxas, an esoteric, mythic word from ancient Gnosticism representing the supreme unknowable deity. By crediting these specific entities, ranging from the intimately real to the vast and mythic, Brevenbell furthers the feeling that we are listening to an otherworldly sacred manuscript.
And finally, Section 5, Spiritual Longing and Salvation.
Let's move to and see how this builds across time on this timeline. We start in the early 2021 Florida origins with the care package covers, right? But then we leap to a frantic, dense output in 2025 under Sidewalk Entertainment. We get a full 9-song album titled I Hate Love. We get an EP titled Bad, My Sins. We get a single titled Savior. The evolution is crystal clear. The coping mechanism of covering a song has failed, and the artist is now directly confronting themes of sin, salvation, and divine judgment.
So, the crucial point is that when you look at these 2025 titles together, they stop being individual songs. Read them with me. Pray, I.day. Bad, my sins. Forgive, Savior. Good, holy fucking mother of God. These jarring, erratic titles string together for one continuous, overwhelming plea for divine intervention. It is the ultimate expression of Gothic grief, literally tearing at the heavens because the earthly pain is simply too much to bear.
Which leaves us with this final echoing question. Looking at the journey of Brevenbell, from looping a Lil Peep song 30 times in a Florida bedroom to screaming out for 𝔟𝔯𝔢𝔫 and Abraxas through digital track lists, when does a song stop being a simple cover and become a sacred ritual? It challenges how we view modern digital music as a whole. Perhaps these Spotify playlists aren't just content to be consumed, perhaps they're the modern equivalent of ancient liturgical mourning, hymns carved into servers instead of stone. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning the structure of what you listen to, and I will catch you in the next explainer.